The next item that I want to discuss is the finish, or the look or the appearance of the drill after it's finished, or finished grinding. The biggest problem, of course, is in splitting a drill is burning a drill. And the control that I have for the finish and or the burn on a drill is my spark out counter and my wheel travel control valve. All I'm going to do now is I have my wheel on, I'm going to press cycle start, and you will notice the relative speed of what's happening here. I can slow that down. I'm slowing the travel of the wheel, thus the cycle of the machine, or how fast the workhead is rotating. I can also, if I have a little drill, a 16th, 1/8 inch or something, anything like that, I can speed this thing up to where this machine will grind it as fast as I can stick them in. But let's say we're getting up to 3/8 of an inch or something. I want a relatively moderate speed. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here. The next control that I have, I'm going to just cover the dial. I'm going to cover the spark out counter, and I had set it on 45 spark outs. The reality is, when I'm grinding drills, I would want it set on anywhere from, on a small drill, maybe 5/16 of an inch or smaller. I want it set on 2 spark outs, and depending on the size of the drill from there, I might even want to go up to 6 at a 1/2 inch. But for a 1/4 inch drill, I have the spark out set on 2, and the normal cycle is 2 passes, 2 complete passes of the wheel, and then because I got my spark out, I'll get a total of 4 passes. That's how that works. You can see that the cycle is done. Now I'm just going to do it one more time for demonstration purposes. I hit my cycle start, the wheel made a pass and went back, workhead rotated, made a pass, went back. I'm a little slow here, but that's what's happening. And that's a complete cycle. And I can actuate the machine with the push button, or I can use the foot pedal, which is the same as the push button. It's just easier to operate. The next 2 controls that we're going to talk about is the horizontal head movement in and out relative to the wheel. What this controls is the web thickness remaining on the split drill. And the web thickness was this full highlighted bar here on a thick web drill after it was pointed. But the new web thickness is, it's a little difficult to see it on here, but there is actually some distance between this line on this side and this line on this side. And nominally, on a very small drill, it's a thou or 2, and on a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch drill or bigger, that new web, or the new center point thickness of the drill, could be even 10 or 15 thousandths. So the horizontal head in-out position is moving the head in or out relative to the wheel. And depending on how far in or out you have it relative to the dress on the wheel determines how thick the web is on the graphic that I just showed you. The vertical head down or up micrometer dial determines the centering of the split, how you bring the new split together at the center of the drill. Now remember, these are micrometers and they measure in thousandths. So you would never make an adjustment of 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 thousandths. if you're working up or down in the diameter size of a drill. So for instance, if you went from, say, 7/16 to a half an inch, 7/16 to a half an inch, there would be relatively little movement, plus or minus, in either one of these dials. Same if you were doing a little under a quarter inch, say 7/32, then you ended up, the next size happened to be 9/32, for instance. You would only be moving from job to job, or diameter size, you would only be moving these 1 or 2 or 3 thousandths in either direction. As I mentioned before, on the control panel, the start button simply engages the electromechanical functions of the machine. It turns on the wheel rotation, engages all of the hydraulic systems and the electrical system switches and plugs and whatever is on the machine. The coolant switch turns the coolant on. When we depress the cycle start and or the foot feed, then we get into the automatic cycle, and I already covered the spark out counter. Okay, the last item of operating the machine is how to properly dress the wheel, or how to actually do it. This mechanism here is the dresser and the wheel, and here I have the dresser switch. All I have to do is depress the switch and actuate my dresser. It'll dress, and then over here I can feed my wheel in just a little bit, press the button again, and I'm going to you'll also be able to hear the diamond dress the wheel. I'm going to push the button. Okay. Now I want to give it about 2 dresses like that to make sure I actually dress the wheel. I give it a little more there. Dress. And I'm just going to push the button now one more time. You can hear it. It's a little less. There we go. And that's all there is to it.